Now to solve this equation, I already have x in one side here. I don't have any other x's, but I have 7 over 8, which is not a term. It's actually part of the term. It's not a new term. It's just a coefficient of x. And in this case, you just cannot move this to the other side, make it minus 7 over 8. That's a big mistake, because this is not a term. But what you can do is to remove the 7, which is multiplied by x, by dividing, and you remove the 8, which is divided already, x divided by 8, by multiplying. Which means you do the opposite exactly. You have 7 up, you should multiply by 7 down. And you have 8 down, so you should multiply by 8 up. Okay? So I'll do the same thing exactly on the other side. The same thing exactly. You multiplied by 8 over 7 on the left. You should multiply also by 8 over 7 on the right. Why you did this? Because when you do this, 8 will cancel 8. This is multiplication, right? Anything up will cancel anything down. You remember multiplying fractions? Okay, so this way I only have x here. On the other side, you're also multiplying fractions. Remember, when you multiply fractions, up times up, and of course you have down here 1, so you should also multiply down times down. But you should actually simplify first. Yes, you should factor and remove common factors. So if you divide by 7 here, this will be 3, and if you divide by 7 here, it will become 1. I just took a 7 common factor up and down, so the answer will become, don't forget the minus, the answer will become minus 3 times 8, which is 24. Okay? A question comes like this, and people think it's really hard. It's really very simple. Okay? It's minus 24. Okay? I just multiply by the inverse of what I had here, the coefficient of x. Both sides. Clear that? Very important question. Very simple, but very important question. When you have a coefficient, what do you do with the coefficient? In general, if you have a coefficient, you divide by the coefficient. So if you have another, suppose I have 4x, for example, 4x equal to 8. You don't have a fraction here. You only have the 4, so you just divide by 4 here, and you divide by 4 here. So this becomes here x, right? And this becomes here 2. Okay. But what if the coefficient is a fraction? It's just like 1 over 5, for example. 1 over 5x equal to 7. So in this case, you have the coefficient, it's a fraction. Instead of dividing by 1 over 5, you just multiply by 5, both sides. Okay? So in this case, this 5 will cancel this 5. Okay, and you just have here x, right? This is a multiplication, by the way. So this x will be equal to 35. That's it. Okay, so that's a simpler case.